The Running Warehouse Ballarat Marathon is back in April next year with a flat and fast course, an amazing atmosphere and heaps of fun. Sign up today at ballaratmarathon.com.au before this very popular event sells out.
Child, that your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say you got the best of both ways. Won't you come and take a walk in my shoes and tell me if you take my place? Under cover of my skin, I've heard all your names. If it's all the same.
Welcome to episode number 414 of the Inside Running Podcast. A massive thanks for being with us for another week. Big show this week. Got a big guest. A guest that you never hear from. No one knows what he's doing. He's going to be popping in about 15 minutes time. We are so excited to have him on the show this week. Going to thank some Patreon supporters. Got a bit of running news here. A couple of whispers. Moose on the Loose has 4 dot points, Croaks. Get worried about that. Listen to question thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration as well. Plus we'll preview the Melbourne Marathon fields, and Chicago Marathon is coming up this weekend as well. Welcome my co-host, a man that proved that he knows nothing about trail running last week. Bradley Croker, welcome to you.
Thanks, Brady. Good to be here. I'm excited for today's guest, absolute superstar of Australian distance running. His poster's on my wall.
One of everyone's favourites, isn't he?
And I'm just glad we're back because, I think Moose almost got us cancelled last week.
Far out, a big week in the socials for Julian Spence, who got political last week, and it was taken okay from some people, not so well from other people. I went out fishing, Croaks, went off the grid, went out the bush. I said to the boys, 26 hours, no reception. I come back, far out. Instagram page is blown up. Moose is putting out statements. Was not good. Welcome to you, Moose.
Oh yeah, it's a scary world, mate. Especially if you're like, all we do is talk about running. Imagine if you lived in the world of politics, or you had strong opinions that weren't a joke. It would be a wild ride out there.
All right, that's enough politics talk for today.
Yeah.
What about the one that wanted me kicked off the show because I'm injured now? Said, hey, It's not the Inside Physio podcast. Get yourself off there.
Was rough. That's where
first week I've had a scan for the first time since, when did we start? 2017. He said, nah, get off, Brady.
That's where I draw the line, Brady. I get it. Like, I'm not really into the whole politics talk either, but the fact that he's having a go that there's too much injury talk when we're 3 aging athletes and injuries are part of our sport, like why shouldn't we talk about them? I feel like it's actually quite relatable to the general public.
Be different if I did it every week, Croaks.
Like Croaks
First
does.
time in 10 years.
Hey, yeah. I ran more Ks than I ran a fair bit last week, actually.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I've only got about 10, 15 minutes, boys, before our big name guest, who I'm sure the listeners will be, he's not injured. He's given us some training intel and some good stories. So you can get excited about that. But Moose, do you want to go first? You've been in Melbourne.
Oh, yeah, mate. I'm the fittest guy on this show now.
Yeah, you are.
I did more hours of training than you.
What about you guys both peg a race in 4 weeks' time and go race each other?
No, then I'll be injured again.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I couldn't back that up saying I'm the fittest guy. I'm not sure. Croaks has this element. I call it, well, maybe it's old man strength or something. But he has a way of getting out there and racing. It's only once every 3 years, but when he does, he makes it count. Yeah, I jogged Monday. That was it, 6K. I'm still just taking it easy. Actually, if you haven't listened to it, I think it was called the Inside Running Podcast Daily episode with Dave McNeil. We had a little intro with him, and it was just such a refreshing chat to hear his perspective on running and training lately. And I took a lot from it, is just not forcing anything, not having expectation, listen to your body every day. It was just a very valuable chat that we recorded. And so I'm taking a lot from that now with my perspective on running. So I only ran half an hour, but geez, it felt right to just run half an hour. And I've been waking up the next day, because I'm training less, obviously, just feeling so much more sprightly for my runs, where I'm not like battling along for the first 10K or whatever. It's been really nice to wake up feeling fresh and enthused to run. The following day it was actually a longer run, and this was a day that I didn't really have to be at work till a little bit later. And so when I jog normally, like I'll try to work out how much time I give myself before I have to go. And if it's an hour, then I get I say, okay, well, I got to leave. I'll give myself an hour to run. But inevitably, like getting out the door, the watch clicking in, picking up a dog poo if you got your dog, dropping the dog back, stopping to talk to someone, you end up getting 45 minutes of running instead of an hour, and you feel like there's a stress at the end because there's not much buffer time between when you have to go and when you get back. And I understand, being a professional athlete, how easy it would be to actually go out and run without any stress of having to be home for anything. So on this Tuesday, I didn't really have to get home, so I kind of just wandered on a longer loop, did a bit of trail stuff, ended up running 14K, which is a fairly long one for my easy days. That day, the Vomero Premium came in the store, not being able to sell it until Thursday. So I grabbed a pair of those for myself, bought a pair, and ran the next morning, which I was going to do a workout. I actually got a pair of the Adidas Adios Pro 4s as well the same day. So I went down to road night and warmed up for 15, 20 minutes or so. And I was wearing the Vomero Premium, and I thought, I'm going to change shoes here into the race shoe for the workout. But I thought, this Vomero Premium feels so much fun underfoot that I thought I might as well just try this for a workout, because Conor Mantz can do his workouts in them, and maybe it's good for me to work out in heavy shoes. And I ran 10 by 300 on, 300 off, which was just a workout set up in my watch. And there's a lot of return from this shoe. It's very heavy and it's very wide underfoot, so you don't get like the snappiness of a race shoe, but you also get this huge platform of forgiveness, so you don't have to be dialed into where your foot hits the deck when you're running fast. And so it felt really comfortable for me. There was no time expectation or pace expectation for the repeats. So again, like, you didn't feel like you needed a race shoe if it was purely just about effort. And I wasn't looking at pace or anything. So I did 10 by 300 on, 300 off, and just felt good towards the end of the repeats, wearing a bigger shoe, more supportive type shoe. And I didn't get much of a cool down because actually Toby called in sick that day. And he's the kind of bloke who doesn't call in sick. So it was pretty serious. I think he ended up at the hospital. So I got back to the car, then had to sort of drive home, sort out some staffing stuff. After that, again, felt really nice with the Vomero Premiums again the next day. I'm running in this shoe a lot, boys. I'm testing out how it looks after an athlete. I'm really just pretty much like only wearing that shoe. Drove to a flat area the next day out the farms. Then did a workout on Saturday morning. I actually did put the race shoe on for this. It was the Adios Pro 4. I did 4 by 6 minutes at threshold, minute jog. I ran around the caravan park. It was kind of busy in town last weekend of school holidays, and the sun was out. The repeats, I stuck the heart rate for the first 3 pretty well. And the paces were 3:30, 3:25, 3:26. And then the last one, like, I went up a hill at the start of the rep, and I just couldn't really get my heart rate to come down after that. So it stayed higher, and that was 3:29 pace. Shoes were nice. They're pretty stable, the Adios Pro 4. They don't have a ton of like pop back. They felt a little bottom heavy, in that the upper was really light, but I felt like a lot of the weight was underneath my foot. But yeah, I'm going to spend a fair bit of time running in those, I reckon. I think they can handle the dirt okay too.
You know what the worst thing about that shoe is?
The tongue.
Tongue, same as the Evo SL, same problem.
How can a brand continually get the same thing wrong on their main models of shoe.
I did see somewhere, it come up on my like Instagram algorithm that you can like relace it and then it shifts it back up a bit more. But you shouldn't have to do that.
Nah, the tongue's stitched in, mate. The tongue ain't coming any further up.
Oh, okay.
Like that's the problem, is that I lace lock my shoe. So when I finished that run, I looked down and I thought I should put a poll up on our Shoe Geeks Instagram saying, is this the perfect tongue? Or like, is this tongue too short, just right, or too long? And I know that like I reckon 90% of people would say tongue is too short, because that last lace, the last eyelet sits fairly far back, and when you're lace locking the shoe to stop any slip at the back, you're doing the lace up almost above the tongue. So like the lace goes directly on your tib ant, and it's just not good for you. So
yeah, you can't have that.
If anyone from Adidas is listening, just 3 more mil on the tongue. 3 more mil's all we need, I reckon. Maybe 5 mil. Next, I drove up to Melbourne that day. We caught the train up. We had an old voucher for a hotel we used, and went up to Luna Park on Saturday arvo. That was an absolute nightmare of a place. Last weekend of school holidays, with half of Melbourne has gone to Luna Park. It was hot in there. There was people everywhere. The line for the rides was like an hour long, and just not a nice environment. Probably like my biggest nightmare. And then went to this hotel where I turned the cooling down to the lowest possible, and it was still probably like 25 degrees in the room. So woke up real dehydrated. Went and ran with a group with a couple of guys, Pat and Liam, and then their 2 buddies. Met down at Albert Park, ran along the beach. It was so windy. I just remembered Melbourne Marathon back in 2016, where it was like the exact same conditions, where it was hot and blustery northerly winds. And I think they also had that year. Was it 2018 when Sinead won?
Sinead Diver, hot year.
2018 was it, or 2019? I think it was 2018.
2018, yeah.
2018, yeah. So they are so lucky they didn't get that for next Sunday, because that would have destroyed people out there. Although the wind only gave me a yellow, which is a fair stitch up, because that was like the windiest day ever down there. We ran pretty quick too. One bloke just went off hard from the gun on this group run, like running 4:15s. And he ended up getting dropped on the way back, which was crazy considering he's the one who pushed it on the way down. His name was Danny. I ran 4:19s, 26K in the Vomero Premiums. Probably about half an hour too long for that shoe, in my opinion. I felt like I wanted to be a little closer to the ground. But yes, 88K for the week. 2 workouts, little workouts anyway. Hour 50 long run. Think I'm back. A couple of weeks away still from feeling good, but I'm enjoying it, having fun out there.
He's back, stringing it together. Croaks, You whip through what you've been doing. We haven't got much time though.
Yes, I took Monday off, just a bit under the weather. Tuesday, I ran outside. So it was my first run in Mulligans for 50 days and my first day in the Mega Blast, which when you're not fit, probably doesn't do the shoe justice, because everything's going to feel pretty ordinary, but not nice shoe. So I did 40 minutes outside. Also jumped on the bike for 85 minutes and did gym that afternoon. Took Wednesday off, and then Thursday I did 50 minutes on the treadmill and 70 minutes on the bike. Friday, back outside for 45 minutes, 4:19s. And then Saturday, I did 10K on the treadmill, did an hour gym, and then yesterday I did an hour outside at 4:24s. And I've actually feel, considering I've done very little for a couple of months, aerobically I don't feel too bad. I'm just lacking some conditioning in my legs and all of those stabilizers through your hips and your adductors, that sort of thing. So an hour was plenty yesterday, but I'll just add sort of 15 minutes every week to the long run and hopefully a few more hour runs this week. So it was 53K for the week, 2 rides and 2 gym sessions.
Good. You just keep chipping away the way you're doing this.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. I'm loving just being able to go out and run, and I haven't had any pain in my calf doing it. So I'm just so much happier when I can go out and run. So yeah, it's good to be back. I'm in no rush to do sessions. I just want to run and enjoy that.
Look at the smile on his face, Moose.
Yeah.
Just lights up when he's out there, Mulligans, 60 minutes.
Weather's warming up, daylight saving. How good is it?
It was a rough few weeks or even a month when he was injured in our group chat.
Oh, yeah.
You know it when Croaks is injured. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. We pay for it, don't we? Short responses, gets a bit snappy at us.
Yeah, you put your bike trainers out for Viv during that week.
Nothing to report from my end, fellas. I continued to have time off, letting these iliacs, I think they're called, bilateral iliac. That's what I need to heal. I did get on the elliptical for 35 minutes yesterday, Sunday. That's the only exercise I did. But still, I'm still going okay. Mental health feels good. Still seem to be very positive. I'll be 2 weeks on Wednesday, so it's feeling good on the right side, but left-hand side I can still feel it. But I reckon now the kids are back at school, or Hudson's back at school, Olivia's back at preschool. It's like just quieter around the house. You start thinking about it more, like you want to go out and go for a run. Whereas I've just been super busy. And I think I've been looking for shit to do to distract myself from not being busy.
I'm the dead opposite. If my kids are at home, I want to go for I need to have like a little mental health break from. I mean, that sounds bad. Like looking after you.
No, I understand what you mean. But I think the busyness of kids though, you don't have time to think.
There is that. Yeah.
Yeah. So all good. So it'll be 2 weeks Wednesday, and then I reckon I'll give it another 2 weeks to make it a month. So, which is all right. See what happens. Looking forward to getting to Melbourne on the weekend, see some people running. That's when I reckon I'll get a bit of FOMO, when I'm on the side of the road and it's like the biggest running festival in the state. Then you're like, shit, I could have been there.
Well, not if it's the kind of wind that we had on yesterday out there in Melbourne. You would not want to be on the road for that. I can tell you that much.
True.
That was awful. Yeah. That will destroy people's days.
I know it's only Monday, but it doesn't look too bad at this stage. But we've seen over the years at Melbourne, it can deliver all kinds of things.
You're right.
I'm excited to tell you about our partner, Saily. Saily is a game changer for staying connected when you travel. It's an eSIM service app that helps you choose from a huge range of affordable data plans in over 190 countries and 8 regions. Think about it. You land in a new city and boom, you've got data. No more scrambling. This was a great service that I used personally when I was overseas a few months ago. If you're heading overseas for your next marathon or even a holiday, running is a fantastic way to experience the world. But here's a question. How often has the travel planning been a hassle? Especially staying connected once you land. I know I've been there, desperately searching for Wi-Fi, getting stung by crazy roaming charges, or wasting time trying to hunt down a local SIM card. This is where you enter the world of eSIM, and Saily has you covered. You download the app once and you're set. No more swapping SIMs for every country you visit. Plus, the plans are super affordable, which is crucial when you're saving up for those race entry fees and flights. And for those of you planning a multi-country trip, like that European marathon tour, Saily offers global and regional plans too. Imagine this, you're in a new city, you're using Saily to load your Strava heat map, you need to find out the best post-run coffee spot, and most importantly, you need to stay connected to upload your latest runs. Saily also helps you to avoid any scams and even has the security features to protect your privacy when you're browsing. It's compatible with both iOS and Android, and their support team is there for you 24/7 if you need them. So here's the deal we've got for Inside Running Podcast listeners. You get a 15% off discount on Saily data plans. You need to use the code Inside Running, all capitals, at the checkout. To get started, download the Saily app or visit saily.com and check out the link in our social media bios. So when you're traveling next, ditch the roaming headaches and give Saily a try. You won't regret it. Let's quickly thank some patrons. Croaks, who you got?
I've got Declan Callahan, who's from Canberra. His Strava's locked down, but I did find the following results. He's run 18:09 at the Burley Griffin Park Run, 37:37 at the 2023 Lakeside 10K, 82 minutes at the 2023 Run Melbourne Half, and 3:15 at last year's Canberra Marathon. He's a physio and clinic leader at Kaiser in Kingston.
They do your back or something, don't they? Is it back strength, like a gym?
Well, they have a system of strength machines, and so there's like it's a specific sort of Kaiser type philosophy or program, and there's like one really like unique back machine that really targets back strength. I know that much. I've sort of gone through a program there before, and it's really popular down here, Geelong and the Surf Coast.
Yeah, they had a team for that Steigen #1. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
It was a Kaiser team.
Yeah,
that's how I know it. Yeah,
they used to sponsor the Great Ocean Road Marathon too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are you thinking, Moose?
I got Andre Whiteman. Now, Andre's name's popped up a heap over the years, so Croaks, you've done well to go back and find Andre for a shout-out. He's from Brisbane. He's run 1945 at the Greenbank Park Run, 41:52 at the 2021 Gold Coast Running Festival, 90:39 at the 2022 Sunny Coast Half, and 3:37 from the 2023 Sydney Marathon. Ooh, hot day that year. Good work on that one, Andre. He's the president of the Brisbane Roadrunners Club. He's a level 2 advanced recreational running coach. And according to Strava bio, he runs not because it adds days to his life, but life to his days.
Ooh,
I love that.
that's what I'm missing.
That's why I had the smile on my face. I'm exactly the same.
Don't do it to me, Andre.
Has he copyrighted that? Because that could be something for a shirt, I reckon.
Sell it out of the running company Geelong and Torquay.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Make some cash off that. Maybe our next merch run. We put that on there somewhere.
Speaking of merch, we actually, I think I still got some at the running company actually. So
Ernie Old.
Yeah. We still got some of the new singlets out. We actually have some old Nike stuff too. Got to find some homes for that. Maybe we'll do a few giveaways. I'll put a size list together, and then we'll do some giveaways of the Nike stuff over the next few weeks.
Oh, some of that old stuff. That's like collector's edition now.
Vintage.
That will move.
Frame that up.
That
will move. I'm going to thank Jarryd Ryan, and he was wearing the new Inside Running Podcast singlet at this year's Ballarat Marathon when he ran at 3:32. He's from Dandenong North, has a PB of 20:05 from the Marriott Waters Park Run, 41:54 at this year's Run Pre-10K, 95 minute at this year's Carmen Half Marathon. So massive thanks, Jarryd, Declan, Andre, for your support of the Inside Running Podcast. Just locking in now our Road to Valencia show. Should have some details about that in the next couple of days. I reckon the Road to Sydney monthly won't be far off as well, Moose.
Yeah, the Sydney series, mate. I've got that one. Got to lock in a time for those guys.
Lock in a time for those guys. I can get Clousey was talking about a UK episode the other day. Get him sorted. Get those fellas sorted.
Oh, speaking of Road to Sydney, are you following Leanne Moose
on Strava?
Yeah.
Did
she give you access? Did you see her double Sunday?
Yes, I did. I thought that was an extension off her long run. I thought it was just the end of her long run.
I thought it was a bit odd. So she ran at Mulligans at 7:30. Let me just bring it up.
She's going to hate that you're doing this. She only lets a few people follow on Strava, so this doesn't come up.
She's all right.
Yeah.
Well, even her coach even commented saying, interesting double. So she did 85 minutes at 7:30, then drove home, and at 9:50 went out for another 31 minutes.
That's an extension of the long run.
Oh, but that's what's
She's
that?
Built different. Leanne is built different.
7:30, 8. But that's like, so she's finished at like 8:55. Yeah, so it's about an hour later.
Do you know that screams of getting caught with someone you don't want to run with at Mulligans and getting in the car and going, oh, no, that's me, I'm finished. Really, you're like, I just want to get away from this Croaks bloke. And then I can go run.
It wasn't me, mate. She ran with Cam Myers.
Oh, she's dropped. How's the chat on Cam? No good.
I don't know.
Or she's got home and there's someone like an extended family member that she doesn't like too much. And she's like, oh, yeah, I've got my run I've got to go out and do.
Yeah.
And they don't know that she's already done 80 minutes in Mulligans.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was quite a unique double.
It's a good story
Ask her
behind
about
that,
it.
I reckon.
Road to Sydney. I've got to get our guest organised, fellas. I think I've got him. He'll have some good training to recap. It's always good for a story. Let's see if I can get him now. All right, Croaks, you and I are not doing much running at the moment, so we need to bring in a big dog. We need to bring in someone to give the fans of the show some entertainment this week. And we've gone out and got one of the biggest dogs in Australian distance running. He's the Australian 3,000 metre record holder, the second fastest Australian of all time over both the 1,500 metres and the 5K, and he's the third fastest Australian miler and 10K runner. He's a two-time Olympian, including a 7th place finish at the Tokyo Olympic Games. Welcome back to the Inside Running Podcast, thanks to Nike. Stewy McSweyn, how you going, Stewy?
Hey, boys. Thanks a lot for having me on. Should, hopefully be a pretty fun episode.
Yeah, we haven't had you on the show for ages, have we? I'm trying to think the last time you would have been on here. I think you filled in for me once when maybe one of my kids was born, but that would have been years ago.
Yeah, I think maybe 2019 or 2020. I think end of 2020 maybe. So, a little bit has happened between then.
Back in Melbourne, you're sitting there. You've got a Kipchoge signed jacket in the background there. Must be good to be back home.
Yeah, so excited to be home. I think this is the first year I've come home and haven't done the full season. So it was kind of nice coming back early for once, seeing all the finals footy. A lot goes on in Melbourne. So, really happy to be home. Even though summer hasn't really come around quite yet, I'm definitely enjoying being back around family and friends.
Yeah, tell us more about that jacket in the background. We were just talking about it off air, but I think the listeners would love to hear the story behind it.
Yeah, so I just have a frame Kipchoge 1:59:40 Kenya top that he signed. I think it was 15 minutes after he finished the sub-2 marathon. Once he'd done all the photos and he was back getting changed into his warm-down outfit, I was able to sneak over and get him to sign it. Got it framed, so it holds pride and joy in my room.
So did he hand them out to all the paces, or where did you get the actual jacket from in the first place?
So a Kenyan guy actually gave it to me as a gift for doing it. So a guy who was there, and I was like, there's no better thing than to get Kipchoge to sign that. So I was like, I'll sneak in, see if he'll sign it. He signed it and wrote me a little message as well. So that was kind of pretty cool as well. Especially, it was, 20 minutes after he just broke 2 hours. So he was the hottest man in the world at the time. So it was cool that he still had time for the little guys to come up and get an autograph.
The little guys. You should have seen this bloke over in Paris, fellas. He had Patrick Sang coming over and talking to him. You would have seen Kipchoge there as well, wouldn't you, Stewy? That was a fun weekend or fun couple of days to be a part of.
Yeah, it was. It was amazing having Eliud there as well. Patrick Sang, a couple of the greats of the sport. So, and to be involved in I think that was the last time I saw you, was pretty cool. It was probably the highlight of my year running wise. It was such a great weekend. And just the amount of people who were there, the amount of support it got was pretty cool to be involved. So I felt pretty fortunate this year that I was able to do that as well.
Stu, are you the only person that was involved in both the Kipchoge one and the Faith Kipyegon world record attempt?
I think I was, yeah. So someone mentioned that. So I was like, that was kind of a pinch myself moment where I was like, I've been pretty lucky in this sport that I've had the opportunity to do not only one, but both. So I think when my career is said and done, there are two things I'll probably look back and be like, yeah, it's pretty crazy that I was fortunate enough to be involved in those.
Do you got any other memorabilia that you've got sitting around that sort of going to eventually get framed and put up too?
I've got a fair few, I try and keep all my singlets and stuff, and race kits, bibs. I've got one of Jake Whiteman's 2022 World Champs Great Britain kits when he won in Eugene. So I'm going to get that framed. I'm waiting to kind of, get a bit better pool room, and then I'll try and have them all up, because you just end up collecting so much cool stuff over the years. But I think definitely the Kipchoge Guernsey's the pride and joy. That's the main one on top of my bed. That's the one I see when I go to bed at night. So that's definitely the highlight. But hopefully we can put together a few more as well.
How did the organisation of both those ones differ, Stewy? Nike obviously had a bit to be involved with both of them, but were there different people pulling strings behind the scenes that you were kind of taking directions from with the pacing, or was it the same crew?
To be fair, it was similar. I think the Kipchoge was just because it's a marathon, there's so many more factors that need to come into it. So the whole preparation and stuff was just such a big process. They had a test event. Why Faith, it was kind of just they had it all worked out. We practiced a couple of days. We're right to go. So logistically, I think it was probably a little bit easier. But I think the pressure with the Faith one is it's such a short distance that if you make a mistake, it could affect the result so much. Why Kipchoge, it's like he's running for 2 hours. As long as you don't trip him or do anything too stupid, you're not really going to have an issue. So I think that was the big difference. That like probably the Faith was more stressful just because you can influence it a lot more. Like Kipchoge was just, you had so much confidence. He was running so good at this time. Everything was set. They'd done the 2 hour course. They made a road to make sure it was good. They looked at every weather factor. Everything was sorted. So you just had so much confidence it was going to happen. So I think they were both different in a sense, but yeah, both unbelievably cool to be involved in.
And do you like meet people for the first time, like other pacers doing that? Like I saw you guys doing a workout afterwards and you seemed really chummy. Like is there times when you come along and you're like, oh, I haven't had much to do with this guy, and then after working with him for 2 or 3 days, you leave pretty close?
Yeah, definitely. I think you generally know most of the guys on the circuit. Like across the years, you end up racing them so much. So you, even if you don't know them personally, you'll know them well enough to talk to or say hey or whatever. But just being around them for a few days, you kind of feel like you're part of a footy team where you're like, you get to know them well. You're eating every meal with them. You're training with them. You're discussing not only running, life stuff with them. We celebrated together after. So you feel like you get to know them more than what you just meet them on the track. So that was cool as well because we had guys from US, Europe, all over the place coming together. So yeah, it was pretty special to be a part of. And yeah, a memory that I'll look back on for a long time, and I know those guys will as well.
How do they decide, Stewy, who's involved in those events? Do you know?
I actually don't know. I think obviously it's a Nike event, so they needed Nike guys, and I think the team just reaches out who they think would be a good fit, whether it's personality, whether they think you can do the job. I think probably height comes into it as well, based in you want a bigger guy if they're going to be out the front trying to block the wind as well. So yeah, I'm not sure how I got picked, but once I got the call that it was an option early in the year, I was like, I'm definitely doing this. Like, there's no doubt I'm not doing this, especially in Paris. What a place to do it as well.
Now, Stewy, just I reckon there's people hanging on the edge of their seat a little bit because you might be one of the most talked about runners in the country, especially through the running channels, probably because of your lack of social media and you don't have Strava. So no one really knows what's going on in the running world of Stewy unless we're seeing your race. Can we just ask you straight up, like, how close did you get to retiring? Because that was one of the big rumors out there.
Yeah, I think I obviously thought about it coming off the Olympics last year, purely just I think the Olympic cycle, you put so much effort into it and everyone goes in thinking, oh, this is my one. I'm everything's going to go good for me. I'm going to win a medal. I'm going to have my big moment. And especially I was so close in 2021. I was like, Paris, surely I can like live up to what I feel like I have the ability to do. And then to not be able to do that in Paris, I was definitely flat coming off it. And I was getting a little older and I was kind of at the point where I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I've got to either try and improve and keep getting better, or I've got to like look at doing other stuff in my life as well. Because you end up just putting so much effort on running. I think I'd been at uni up until that point for 10 years. So I was like, I got to finish uni here. Like, it's kind of embarrassing telling my mates that they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm final year uni student or whatever. So I was like, I need to go back, do that. I was pretty burnt out. So I was like, I'm going to go back, finish uni next year. If I miss this season, and it means maybe I'll feel refreshed and can go towards LA, I'll look at doing that. Because I think where I was at the end of last year, I was like definitely pretty burnt out. I've been running so long on the circuit. I was like, didn't have the excitement I used to feel when I was going overseas. It kind of felt more like a job than what we run for. We go out there to enjoy trying to be our best. So yeah, there was definitely some tough questions about what I wanted to do with my future. And yeah, what I was going to do with uni, whatever, continuing running. So yeah, I think there was a couple of months where I was like, do I want to keep doing this? Do I still have the enjoyment I used to have? But yeah, I think kind of having an off year this year, I feel like I've kind of got that feeling that I want to keep pushing. I feel like my body can still do it. So yeah, I'm excited to hopefully see if we can get around another Olympic cycle if it's possible.
Stewy, you sort of say it was an off year, but you still went overseas. Like looking at your year, you ran a couple of indoor races early in the year. Then you missed our domestic season, came out and ran Launceston 10K, got the win there, and then headed straight over to Bislett, which was a 5K world record attempt. So you obviously still went overseas to compete this year. It's the first year that you haven't made a global team since 2017. Like, we're used to just seeing you there. How did you feel about this season, and what was it like watching the World Championships at home?
Yeah, it's obviously different. I think I said at the start of the year that unless I had an unbelievable year, I don't think I would want to be at the World Champs. I think once I've been to a few over the years, you kind of work out if you're not firing in a season, you're not going to be able to turn it around to the championship. So you're better off not being there. So it was different watching this year. I kind of actually enjoyed watching it purely because I was like, when you're in the championships, you don't actually get to watch anything. You're so focused on what you're doing. So in a sense, it was kind of nice watching. And I think you realize how hard it is being a fan of the sport. I was watching the men's 15 final. I was more nervous than I've ever been racing. Just like knowing all the guys on the start line, knowing their years, what's going through. So I was like, when I was sitting there watching the 15 final, I kind of felt sick. And I was like, I don't know how your friends and family watch your race. Like, I've never felt like this being out there doing it. So it was definitely different. But yeah, I think watching it, I still love the sport. I still enjoy it. And I think, yeah, it showed me that I do want to get back. I think physically I can do it. I feel like the drive's there. So yeah, I'm excited to keep pushing. And I think for me, it's more about just trying to enjoy the process more than, I think, as I said, you can end up viewing it as a job, and it can be pretty hard when you got to do certain races every year. You got to show up again and again. You feel like you got to prove yourself again, especially the level internationally right now. There's no guaranteed you can just walk into Diamond Leagues or whatever. You're fighting for spots on start lines. So yeah, it's gonna be a battle to hopefully get back near the top. But I'm excited to just see what I can do. And then I feel like what happens. I feel like up to this point, looking back on my career, I'm stoked with what I've been able to achieve. If I don't achieve anything more, I can walk away off the track pretty happy. But if I do, it's going to be a pretty fun journey over the next couple of years.
Stewy, I feel like you've got so much untapped potential though in other distances. Like we look at, you focused on the 1500 for so long. The depth in that event is crazy now. You've run a handful of 5Ks, but you look at somebody like Kai Robinson, and it's like, you're just as good as Kai, if not better, especially, with your 1500 speed, and he finishes fourth at the World Championships. Have you given any thought to focusing more on the 5K and even the 10K? You've run one 10K track race and it was the Australian record. So I feel like, although you've been around for a long time, I still feel like you've got a lot to still prove in the sport.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll look at, potentially moving more up distance. I feel like the 5K has always been like a side event where it's like, I'll do it on top of the 1500. I think the hard thing when you've been a 1500 guy is it's just the event everyone wants to be in. It's the funnest event. It's the kind of the blue ribbon event. If you can do the 15, you want to do it just because every round there's actions. Every championship 1500 is exciting, so you want to be involved. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure if I can get back to my best 15. I never know, but yeah, I think I'll have to look towards extending out, whether it's to the 5K, 10K, or even the roads as well. I feel like I haven't really tapped into the roads. I still have the desire to one day get around a marathon and see how we go. So yeah, I think it's kind of exciting that I don't know where my limit is in those events. And I feel like there's, as you said, hopefully there's improvement over the years to come.
With that world champ, Stewy, 400 metres to go, who were you cheering for?
In the 1500?
Yeah, yep.
I think I'm pretty close with Niels Laros, so I kind of was nervous because I wanted him just because his season had been so good. But I think probably the underdog, Jake Whiteman, just like seeing how, like, because he's older than me, and just seeing how many years he's battled since Eugene, obviously battled past the Olympics last year, just to see him finally get it right and be back up there because he's, superstar athlete, and just to see the hard 3 years he's had leading up and then to be 10 meters away from winning gold was pretty cool to see. So, that was a guy I was cheering for. I think Tim Cherritt as well, a guy that's been just like around the 1500 since 2017. He's been in every race. He's always honest. He runs hard. He's a good guy off the track as well. So to see him back in the top 5 was pretty cool as well, especially like that was a guy who was running before even I was on the circuit, and to see him still going so good was like, pretty amazing to see.
And do you think Hocker deserved to get DQ'd in the semi, or it was all fair?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard to say. There probably was a little bit in it, but I think it's racing. 1500, there's always pushing. There's stuff going on. So, yeah, I think I would have liked to see him put through purely because we saw what he did in the 5K. I think that 15, he would have been real dangerous as well. And he's actually such a fair, nice guy. So probably what happened in the race didn't really show his personality at all. So, but as we said, the 5K he kind of bounced back. So that was nice that he got a bit of reward because I think he would have been pretty dangerous in that 15 final.
Stewy, after the last sort of tough years of running and maybe not competing at the level that you expect of yourself or that you want to be at. Have you sat down with Nick or with anyone else, and Collis maybe, had it done like a review on what sort of may have gone wrong and things to change for the future?
Yeah, I think every season, whether it's good or bad, you got to be reviewing because, as we said, the rest of the world's just so good now where it's like, if you don't improve or you don't change training or you don't look at stuff differently, there's 20, 30 other guys in the world doing that. So we have spoke about it. We sat down. I think it was pretty obvious a few things that went wrong this year. I kind of battled a few injuries, couldn't really shake. I had a couple of old man calves this year, which was a first. But yeah, I think there was a lot of interruptions this year that went into it. I think missing the preseason hurt, just because as I said, I went back, finished uni or whatever. Worked at a school for a while. So, I probably didn't train as much as I need to before the season, which kind of catches up with you when the rest of the world are at altitude camps in March and you're, at a school teaching. So, probably wasn't ideal. But, I think there's things I need to improve. I think training's changed. I think we look at the sport, how people train has changed so much over the last probably 2 to 3 years. So, I think there's adaptations we'll look at making coming into next year, especially now I'm getting older. You kind of got to train a little differently as well. You can't just turn up every day, smash yourself and expect to recover as quickly as well.
And Stewy, you said at the end of after the Olympics, you're a bit burnt out and you've obviously sort of been on the circuit for a long time. Have you ever considered a change of environment, like a change of group? Like I'd imagine you're a well-liked guy on the circuit. And have any other athletes sort of reached out to you to say, hey, like come and train with me? Like, has Jakob ever invited you to a training camp in Norway? Like, is that something that you potentially explore?
Yeah, I've had it. Like a lot of guys will be like, oh, you should come train with me, or even just come for training camps, whether it's in like guys like Grant Fisher's mentioned, go train with him in his house at Utah or like whoever. I think learning off other guys would be a huge asset. Like you look, they know how to train. You see Grant Fisher, he's in the kick for every championship final. So it would be cool to learn some stuff of him. I'm not sure the training environment, what's going to change or whatever. But I think as you mentioned, you got to keep looking to improve and change stuff. If it's not working, if you want to try and get competitive again, because as I mentioned, the sport will just leave you behind unless you're willing to, in a sense, take a risk and look to develop. If you keep doing what you're doing, everyone else is doing something a little bit better and you just end up falling behind.
Will it be like double threshold, Stewy? Is that what you think you'll implement next?
I'm honestly not sure, to be fair. I think the basics you need to get right first. That's making sure you're putting the weeks together or whatever. And then the training changes, I'm not sure whether I need to train more aerobically. Now I'm looking at doing longer events potentially or whatever. But I think, as a whole, I think I've got to make changes. I think we saw this year it wasn't the year I was hoping for. I'm not certain of the changes yet, but I think we'll work that out over the next period.
And the teaching degree, is it fully finished now after 10 years? You're a qualified teacher?
So I'll graduate end of this year. So, I won't be attending my uni celebration. I'll just get that one sent out in the mail. But, kind of nice to be finished, I think. Especially, it's just nice to be able to tell people what you do with yourself. Because, like, even now you have mates be like, oh, are you still running? Or, like, do you run still? And you're like, oh, I still run. But I've got something else going for me as well, which will kind of be nice. Like, it's not running isn't just a job. You got, like, more to that as well.
Primary school, secondary school, what are you going to teach?
So I'm secondary school, so PE Health and English.
Oh, that's croaks. Bit of Shakespeare as well. Shakespeare in between.
You living back in Bayside, like St Kilda area, and running along there? Is that where people will see you out running and training?
Yeah, so I'm lucky where I live. I think it's a 7-minute jog to Albert Park, about 6 minutes to Caulfield Park. So yeah, if you're out mid-morning, you might see me out running. I'm a pretty routine guy, so I'll do like similar loops. Most of them I won't even wear a watch. I just know the loop. I'll just go out and run it. I know it's 12K, 14K, 6K, whatever. So I kind of have a fair pattern I'll see. So if people are out running similar times, they'll see me quite a bit.
No, Casio still?
Still got the Casio going, yeah. So
yeah, nice.
And Stewy, running the half marathon this weekend, why did you choose the half over, say, the 10K? And has your training changed at all for the half marathon?
Yeah, I think the last 2 weeks because I kind of had a break, so I've only been back a couple weeks, but I feel like the last 2 weeks have been pretty solid. Just trying to get the mileage in the legs. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think I've only run one half marathon, and that was 2 days after the Diamond League final in 2021. And I had not done the work to survive a half marathon, so I got caught out real quick. So I'm excited. I feel like it's a new distance. It's low pressure, so I'm just looking forward to getting back out and racing. I think I haven't been able to run. I haven't actually raced in Melbourne since 2014, just because the season hasn't really allowed it. So I'm excited to get back out there. I'll have a few family and friends out coming and watching. It's just a cool event to be involved in. So I'm hoping the weather's good, and I'm hoping I can get the body around that 21K. Okay.
Stewy, you won the 10K in 2017.
Oh, there you go. 17 it was.
Yeah. You also won in 2014 as well. You just beat Zaka, who works.
There you go. Yeah, I remember. I actually forgot about that 2017 race, but I remember 2014 coming into the final corner, me and Zaka, and I remember Zaka trying to drop me off that top bend and then having not having too many wheels the last couple of hundred. So
he hasn't forgotten about it.
Yeah. So there you go. 2017 it was then. So it's still been a while. What's that? Eight years. So it'll be nice to get back out there.
Who's your biggest threat on the weekend? Like you got Brett's in there, Gregson, Haftu, Zach Paccioni, Jacob Cox, Ed Goddard. It's pretty loaded, this half marathon field.
Yeah, I think that I haven't actually looked at the field, but I think it is going to be pretty strong. I think you're going to have to, guys like Brett just have run so many halves. He's kind of experienced guy. So yeah, you'd have to say he's probably favorite going in just because he's done the distance so many times. But yeah, it'll be exciting to race. I think it'll be good we've kind of got some older guys in there, some younger guys as well. So yeah, it'll make for a fun race. And hopefully, as I said, we don't get too much wind and it's nice conditions because yeah, I don't think I'm looking forward to running 21K in a big headwind the whole way. So hopefully fingers crossed we get some good weather.
Most races, Stewy, we see you go straight to the front and try and stretch everybody out. Is the half marathon the kind of event where you'll just sit on Brett and try and outkick him?
Yeah, I think I've probably got to be a bit more respectful of the half. I think, as I mentioned, I'd run one in my career, so I'm still trying to work it out. So it's going to be a good learning no matter what happens. But yeah, I think I've just got to run my own race if I feel good. Just maybe take it on, but I don't think I'll be taking it on the first K like I try and do in a few other races.
Have you been training with Brett a fair bit lately?
We've been crossing over. It's he's just come off a marathon a month ago, and I came off Europe, so I hadn't been really back at training. I kind of had a break coming off the Fifth Ave Mile. So we've done 2 sessions together, and he's in good shape. So I know he's going to be strong over the half. So he's got all that marathon training in his legs. So no doubt he's going to make it a tough race, but I think it'll be exciting to be a part of.
I was going to say pre-race, Stewy, like you guys are training partners and mates and stuff. Like, do you have to switch all that off? You'll be under the MCG, you'll be in the footy change rooms. Like, what's it like in that, 30, 40 minutes beforehand for a lot of our listeners to get a bit of intel? They'll never get to experience that. Like, are you chilled out and joking around with him, or is he a competitor from that point on?
No, I think you're pretty chilled out, to be fair. Like, I think most races, it's like people think a lot more goes on pre-race, but most of the time you're just focused on yourself. It's like at the end of the day, you're out there trying to run your best. And then, yeah, once the gun goes, you forget about everything anyway. So even if you are mates, it's like whether it's a competitor or not, you don't really notice, to be honest. So yeah, I think you end up talking to them like it's a normal day or whatever. And then once the gun goes, you're out there trying to beat everyone you can on the start line.
I remember pre-race once, it was Melbourne Track Classic before it was called Murray Plant, and the official was having a real big go at you in the call room because you had the numbers stuck on your legs and not on your shorts. And you were just like blank staring, looking straight through her, like did not want to engage, head down. Like you were I'd never seen you that serious before, like clicked into race mode. And I think you came out and absolutely smashed everyone that day. But yeah, I remember them trying to get you. They were trying to convince you to move the stickers and it wasn't going to happen. And you're just like, I just want to race. Yeah,
I actually remember that day, to be fair. I think I was probably just trying to not make eye contact and try and sneak out with them still on the side of my leg because I hate pinning them on. Like especially if it's weird, like Lakeside's windy. If it's windy, they just flap around, they fall off, and it's way better sticking them on. So I actually think that's the only race I've ever got told off. For sticking them on. So I was kind of like probably a bit like, oh, I didn't think I'd get told off for that. So I was trying to fly at the radar, and I think they actually made me change them. So I don't think it worked.
Yeah, it was a bit of a showdown in there, boys. Officials versus Stewy. No one was backing down.
Got any questions? Oh, I got one, Stewy. So what's the plan then? So you're doing half this weekend. I saw something this week where you're down to run Burnie 10K. And then will we see you run the 10K at Zatopek? Like, what's the summer track season look like?
Yeah, so, as you mentioned, Melbourne, I think it's 2 weeks, and then I'll get down to Burnie, which is always great. Being a Northwest Coast boy, it's always, if I get the chance to go down to Burnie and it fits in the season, I'm always excited to go back, and Richard Welsh looks after us so well down there. So if anyone can get down there to race there, make sure you get down, because that's, like Melbourne, it's such like a community event. It's just so fun to be out there and involved in. So, I think I'll look towards potentially getting back on the Zatopek. I think the last time I did it was 2019. So I think this year it will double as the Com Games trial as well. So, I think I'll definitely look towards that and see how we go over the 10K. I think 25 laps is a long way, but I am excited to get back out there. It is a good event if you're having a good day. It's just not so fun if you have a bad day.
Speaking of being a Southwest boy, you're also a Ballarat boy. And have you noticed that in the XCR Division 1 or the Premiership Division, Ballarat is climbing the ladder? Now, I reckon there'd be a fair chance that you might want to get in on that sort of Premiership glory, considering you probably haven't seen it in a while. Back to Ballarat for 2026?
That's another one for the rumour mill, I think. It's good to see that all those young boys coming through in Ballarat, though. I know Rod Griffin still plays a massive role up there. So, exciting times for Ballarat distance running. But, I'm not sure where my loyalties will lie for XCR. Obviously, I was a St. Stephen's man, but the club isn't around anymore. So, it depends what my season looks like last year. Maybe I will jump back in a few AV crosses. I think you guys know how fun those events are, especially the relays. It's like the only time you feel like you're part of a footy team in athletics. So, I think hopefully I can get out and run a couple next year. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll be down at Sandringham. I'm not sure. Depends where the boys end up running next year, I guess.
Depends who's got the checkbook out.
Yeah, don't worry about.
I don't know about that. I don't think many clubs are offering to pay. I think most of the time you still have to pay your own rego. So we'll
Geelong. I got some cash at Geelong for you. We'll talk later.
Melbourne Uni got plenty of brown paper bags.
You just got to be in Division 2, Stewy, if you run for Geelong.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Perfect.
The negative, I guess.
Perfect. Run with your brother. He can sign up.
Yeah, if you can get him on the start line, maybe.
Yeah, I reckon. Hey, actually, on that, I see him all the time. For those that don't know, Stewy's twin brother just lives close to the shop. Came in the other day and I told him, I said, my wife's expecting twin boys, actually. And I said, I've got the names lined up already. Gus and Stewy. And 4 years old. I think that's how old your sister is, older than you. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, just under 4 years. So, lock in the names, I reckon. I like it.
It's exactly the setup that we're going to be having at home. So I'm going to be hitting you two up for advice all the time on how to best to control twin boys.
Beautiful. I was actually outside your store on Saturday. I was in that little park across the street with Gus and his kid.
Oh, yeah? No kidding.
So, looked like business was going well in that store. There's a few people walking in.
We got some good staff in here, actually. They would have been stoked to see you come in. They're all runners. They would have loved it.
Better if Stewy's there signing some autographs. That'll get him in.
Yeah, cook a sausage sizzle out the front.
Next time I'm down, I'll drop in.
Have you got anything signed in the shop from Stewy?
Oh, yeah, his spikes. I think they're from the Oregon World Champs.
Yeah, so the 1500. So, I raced the final in them. I remember... because I remember you asked Gus about why there was no size tag in them.
Yeah. So they're signed in the box, and that's always a cool story when someone asks. But funny story is, I think it was Gus's parents were down visiting. So your parents, obviously. Stewy's parents were walking past, and they stopped in, and they come and check it out. Like a lot of the times when they're here. So it's always fun.
I think they would have been an easy sale. You could have showed a couple of pairs of shoes to them pretty easy.
Just on shoes, you've moved to the roads now. You're obviously having to contemplate road racing shoes. Where does the allegiance lie between Vapor and Alpha?
I think I definitely prefer I like training in both, but I think the Alpha I've just been kind of a bigger guy. I feel like the Alpha you just have so much more support. So I'll be racing in the Alpha Fly on Sunday. I'm lucky I've got the new Eliud Kipchoge version as well, which is kind of nice, pretty cool colorway. So looking forward to trying them out. But yeah, I probably do prefer the Alpha Fly just being a bigger guy, and I feel like I get a lot more out of it just off the ground as well. So, but yeah, I think both have places in the training routine. I'll wear vapor flies for K reps, shorter stuff, but generally the longer, especially the half marathon, I'll look more towards the Alpha Fly.
You've been in that new Vomero Premium as well, Stewy?
Yeah, unbelievable. I think that it could be one of the biggest upgrades in a shoe. Like, I wouldn't often run in the Vomeros, and now that's my everyday jogger. And it just, such a comfortable ride running in them. So, I think that was a huge update by the brand. I think that night and day between the old version and the new version. So, that was kind of a game changer. And I was always a Pegasus guy, but now I'm more towards running the Vomeros.
Yes. Speaking of where you live, you ever run along that Bay Trail? I did a long run with a few guys there on the weekend, and bit of a hot topic or a contentious one. We were running in the cycling lane, and I was following them, and everyone else was running on the trail closer to the beach. And I said, "What's the go here, fellas? Like, why are we in this lane?" And they said, "Oh no, all the runners run over here, and just the joggers run over there." Where do you go?
There you go. I didn't even know that was a rule. I thought you were going to say you got abused by cyclists, because you can get a few along the beach that aren't happy if you run in that little bike lane. But yeah, I've never actually thought about it. I've never knew there was a rift between joggers and actual runners. So
no, well, this was just so we're clear right now. That's not me saying that. That was the group I was running with. Just like, oh, we're the elites over here. Now I disagreed with it, Stewy, but then I got me thinking, where does Stewy run? Cycle track or the beach track?
Weirdly enough, I'll actually jog on the other side of the road purely because I don't want to have to cross all the traffic. Because if you go on it, unless you go really early, you get caught trying to get across that highway, and it's just like, unless you're running for a long time, it's just not worth it. So I'll stay on the inside trail that no one actually walks up, so it's clear. So hopefully not too many people start running up that, because it's kind of nice. Like, you'll barely see anyone on that side, which is nice if you're trying to fly under the radar and just get your run done, not talk to anyone or run into people you know.
Any more questions for him, fellas, before we let him go?
I'd just be interested, Stewy, in outside of like running, what other commitments, like with sponsors or, like public speaking, do you do any of that? Like, you're an ambassador for any groups or events?
Currently not too much, to be fair. I think that's kind of dictated a lot how you're running. If you're not going quite as good, you probably don't have as many offers coming through. But I think if opportunities come up to go to events or do stuff, I'm generally pretty quick to be like, oh, I might as well do it. Because I think for us, you don't have a career for that long. If people are willing to invite you to come to the races or to go to like a sumo night I went 2 weeks ago, I'm going to go, because what other opportunity do you ever get to go to do that? So you kind of got to make the most of it. Why people are inviting you or want you to go. So generally not too many. I was just, focusing on trying to run for Nike right now. And then, as I mentioned, doing uni as well was the big focus. So not too many outside things going on.
Who organises those engagements for you? Do you have a manager, like outside of Nick, that does those other engagements?
Yeah, so I'm lucky enough. I've got a great corporate manager in Phoebe, so she kind of sorts them out, and then she'll just propose them to you and be like, do you want to do it? Do you not want to do it? Whatever, and it fits in. It aligns with what you want to do, or if you enjoy doing stuff, they can reach out and be like, oh, he's interested in going. So I think a lot of the time it's just lucky with timing. If they need a person or you get a late invite, maybe you get a call up, and it's a pretty cool experience, because not often you get to do stuff off the track like that. So I'm kind of quick to put my hand up and take the opportunity if it does come up, and I'm fortunate enough to get an invite.
Did I say you're at the AFL Grand Final on the ground during the sprint?
Yeah, so I was actually lucky. One of my mates runs the AFL Grand Final sprint, so he needed a couple helpers, and I was like, I haven't been to an AFL Grand Final, so I might as well get out there and help him. So that was, as I mentioned, that's an opportunity I never thought I'd get. So to get out there and see 90,000 people, I think it was just over 100 packed into the G, pumping on Grand Final day was, pretty much a pinch myself moment. Was, pretty cool to see.
On footy, Stewy, your mob, St Kilda, spending some money.
I think
you to be an ambassador anymore.
I think it's going to be make or break the next year or two. So we'll see. I think, as we mentioned in sport, you do have to take a certain amount of risk to try and change the culture and change how you're going. So, it's going to be interesting. If it pays off, we're going to look at heroes. If it doesn't go so good, it's going to be a tough rebuild back. So I guess we're going to have to see over the next year or two. But it's going to be fun to watch and see what happens anyway.
I just got a quick one. It's out of context, but what do you see as the least attainable Australian record now for men? For men, because that's probably a little bit more relevant for you.
It's kind of stuff. I haven't actually thought too much about it. Maybe I still think the 5K is pretty hard. Like, you see how good Mocham was. It's like, it's still like a good mark, but I think most of the records are obtainable. We've just seen how quick people are running. But I would say that is generally one of the harder ones going around. I think at distance that probably is the hardest right now. So, but I look at the talent we have coming through. There's no doubt there's multiple guys who might be able to break it over the next couple of years.
It's been peppered. You and Kai, Morgan, peppering around that area.
Yeah, I think, as I said, you see how many guys have had goes at it or got close. It stands the test of time. And like, obviously Craig was a world champs bronze medalist, so it shows that his time stacks up pretty good for the best in the world. So, I think that's probably the hardest marker right now. But as I said, I think it is achievable if guys keep improving like the rest of the world is.
And speaking of the talent coming through, Stewy, you probably won't want to admit it, but I feel like you played a big part in that because, 2020, 2021, like you were the guy that probably put Australian middle distance running back on the map. Like, you're the reason that people were getting up to watch Diamond Leagues because you're competitive, you made the races exciting. Are you willing to, or are you playing a bit of a mentor role to any athletes? Because I think you'd be bloody good at it and you're such an asset that we need to hold on to.
No, I really appreciate that. But not too much. I think the guys it's more just watching it. It's exciting to see young guys come through and just be like, that's what I was. First time you're seeing them on the Diamond League circuit, first time racing in. For a lot of guys, you look at Cam and stuff, it's their first major. So just like seeing the excitement they get out of going to their first championship. So, I would love to offer help if I could in any way, but I think it's just cool watching those guys' journey. I think just the excitement they get, the improvement curve they're having. I think as you progress through your career, you kind of realize that there's a lot of other factors that go into it. It's not just your running that you get enjoyment out. It's good seeing other guys improve and kind of see Australia as a whole, how good they're doing. Like, I think 5 years ago, we would have been like, there's no way we're winning distance medals. And then you look what Jess has been able to do the last year or two. So just to play maybe a small part of that, to be involved in that kind of that whole team coming through is pretty cool to be involved in. So, it's exciting time to watch Australian athletics and especially distance, seeing so many guys go so well. So, I feel grateful that I've been able to kind of feel like I'm part of that group coming through over the last few years.
Yeah, I went back through, like, I just reopened Twitter the other day and went back through, I was a Twitter, whatever it is, back in 2021. And one of the tweets that I wrote was like, I think it was, without Stewy, is there a Jakob? Because of all the work you used to do in that third lap that sort of put the pace on and allowed him to sort of do what he did back then. And I think it was, I'm just not sure there was a Jakob that we see today without you in those races.
Yeah, I don't know, but I appreciate that. I think there was for years that we not just me, Jakob and Tim Chariot, they were probably the main guys. I feel like we changed the way 1500 running was run. Like, championship races were always 340, and then all of a sudden every race is 330. Every circuit race was 330, and it was just like it was kind of fun to watch because it was just action the whole way. So. It definitely changed how 1500s are run. You look now, there's 30 guys can run 332. Why? Back then, guys were like 10 guys were fit enough to do it. So it just forced the sport to change. And I think that's why 1500 is so good to watch. There's so many ways to run it. So I think this year, the 15 final was so weird because there wasn't a guy like Jakob there pushing the pace. Guys kind of didn't know what to do. There was guys looking around being like, wait, what actually happens here?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
But normally it's just like, where's Jakob? He'll be there, 800 to go. He'll be on the front. It's going to be 3:28 pace. Get on. So it was different. It was different watching this year purely because guys were uncertain with how it was going to play out. But I think that's what makes the 1500 such a great event. Like, it's just so much unpredictability. The best guy doesn't always win. So it's always good to watch.
Stewy, before we let you go, give us some splits from last week. What were the workouts last week leading into the half marathon this week?
So the big so Tuesday I was just on the track, just doing base work. So it was just 8x K. I think I was rolling off 60 seconds. I think the quickest was 2:45. So a bit quicker than half marathon pace. And then I think the slowest was 2:53. So aerobically I'm decently fit. I'm hoping the body can get round for the 21Ks. But I guess we'll find out on Sunday. So that was the big session. Then I think Thursday was just, I think it was a 9.5K 10K threshold. So that would have been, low 302, 303 is generally about my threshold pace. So, trying to feel that half marathon that you're not pushing too hard in the threshold, kind of mimic hopefully how I feel most of the way on Sunday.
Yeah. What's your long run been? Like, you've been doing 2 hours?
Yeah. So 2 hours the last 3 weeks. So, that's a little bit different because generally I won't go much further than 90 minutes during track season. So that's kind of stepped up a little bit. But I'm enjoying it. I think for me, I struggle running 2 hours by myself. Like, it's just a long time out there, but I'm lucky enough. I've got a good group of mates we meet every Sunday. So there's 3 or 4 of us out there and it makes it so much better because I don't know if I could, as I mentioned, do 2 hours solo. It's just too long with your own thoughts and it's, pretty hard out there.
Sounds like you've got a fair way to go until you step up to the marathon then.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. I think physically, I feel like I'd be able to step up okay with the training. I think the mental side would be the hard part, being able to zone out and just like bank runs without. I think you got to not enjoy training sometimes in marathon. Why I feel like in track, generally most of the runs aren't that long and you kind of enjoy getting out.
And what's the topic of like conversation, or what else like interests you in your life outside of running?
So that's a good thing about Sunday. Like, a lot of the guys are they're kind of like rec guys. So they'll be out partying on weekends. They'll be doing all the stuff we're trying to not do in season. So it's kind of nice. We don't actually really talk about running. You're hearing all the stories of what they get up to because they're working jobs. So when they're not work, they've got, stuff going on. So that's kind of exciting as well. You get to hear different perspective than just seeing the normal training guys you would during the week. So that kind of keeps the long run pretty fun as well.
Give me something else. So what else happens in your life other than running? You're watching Netflix, you're playing, you're gaming, you're reading books. What happens in the life of Stewy?
Yeah, I don't know. I do like watching shows, to be fair. Socializing, seeing mates. I think for us, it's like, I hadn't been back in Australia for 5 months. So I feel like I've just been so busy catching up, coffees, seeing mates you haven't seen for months. And you feel like it's different talking to them on FaceTime than in person. So just doing that. And then I think I try and go to a lot of sport. I love other sports, like watching, as you mentioned, footy, cricket. So I'm a big sports guy as well. So I like watching the professionalism of other sports as well. And
what are your TV shows, Stewy?
I've been watching Narcos on Netflix. So luckily there's a couple of seasons of that. And then, I'm not sure what else I've been watching. I actually watched the season of Love is Blind, which is a bit of reality TV, which I actually never thought I'd actually watch. So, actually not a bad show. I don't know if you boys would be into that, but
I never
Coach watches a lot of stuff. He'd probably seen it. You
seen that one?
No.
We need to get you on a reality TV show, Stewy. Dancing with the Stars or something?
Oh, that could be good.
Nah, I'd be terrible. I'd be one of the worst guys. Way too shy for that, I reckon.
Survivor?
Nah, terrible. Terrible.
MasterChef, can you cook?
Nah, even worse. All 3 poor. So I think I'm definitely out. I think there's definitely better options for that.
Okay. Any more questions for him, boys, before we let him go?
Thanks, Stewy. You're as I said before, you're such a great ambassador for the sport, and you're the reason why your poster's up on my bedroom wall. Yeah,
we did this segment a few months ago, Stewy, and it was like, if you could pick Australian athletes to put their poster on your wall, but you can only pick 5 of them, who would you pick? And then we put it on our socials and stuff, and so many people said you. Yeah. You were like the man of the people out there. You got so many fans out there. So I hope you know that.
There you go. No, I appreciate it, boys. I definitely, over the years, I've felt such great support, just especially from the Australia, like it's weird. When you run, you never think you'll have even one person follow your journey. So just to have people like reach out, or like whether you're going good or bad, you still have so many people kind of getting around you. So yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. It definitely makes it feel like it's not just an individual sport.
Yeah, listeners, if you're on the roads of Melbourne on the weekend in the half marathon, give him a big shout. Stewy, good luck and all the best for Sunday.
Amazing. Thanks a lot for having me on, boys.
If you're looking for a brilliant running experience next year, then the Running Warehouse Ballarat Marathon is the event for you. Whether you're a 2 hour and 20-minute marathoner or a 6 hour runner, we invite you to come and try the flat and fast courses. There's just 98 metres of elevation for the full marathon and 49 metres of elevation for the half marathon. The long races start and finish out the front of the historic Ballarat Town Hall, situated on the best preserved Gold Rush era streetscapes in the world. With the event perfectly placed in autumn, you get to train through the summer rather than slog it out during the cold winter months. Each of the courses has been certified to World Athletic Standards, meaning you can run a qualifying time for one of the world majors, including Sydney, by taking in the beautiful streets of Ballarat. This year, the Running Warehouse Ballarat Marathon is also a qualifying event for the 2027 World Marathon Majors Age Group Championships. And they have a team of 50 pacers who will help you achieve your goal time. On top of all that, the elite men's and women's mile races are on again and being recognised by Athletics Australia as the National Road Mile Championships. Thousands of people have already signed up for the event. If you're one of them, thank you. If you're thinking about it, now is the time to do so. Head to ballaratmarathon.com.au today. The Ballarat Marathon is proudly supported by Running Warehouse Australia, Federation University, the City of Ballarat, and Visit Victoria. Shitty was good, fellas. Stewy. Love that guy. Love that guy.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick in their responses too, isn't he? Just fire, talks fast. That's come from someone who does talk fast.
He needs to be utilised more in our sport. Like, as you said like, at the start, it's like no one really knows what Stewy's up to other than seeing him race and the odd time that he comes on our show. But he's such an asset for our sport.
What about the sneaky twins announcement too, Croaks? Moose, you haven't said that on the podcast yet, have you?
Nah, but you can't hide it. Bree is absolute behemoth at the moment. Like,
Isn't she due next month?
No, she's due. The official date is the 2nd of January, but they said they're not going to let them go past 37 weeks. So it's like December 10 or 15 or something like that. So it's not far off, to be honest. It's like 6-8 weeks away. So yeah, I'm spending my life preparing for that, preparing the house for that. Yeah,
going to be good listening throughout that stage, I think, Croaks.
Oh mate, I'm going on long service leave. I'm out. I've got parental leave banked up for this show.
Yeah, we'll just patch you in every couple of weeks for 10, 15 minutes, just a welfare check on how you're going.
A welfare check is what I'll need, I think. It's going to be manic. But I reckon we've sort of developed a bit of a plan for it, which will inevitably get thrown out the window on day one.
Oh, you got Stewy to help you now anyway. He'll mentor you through it. He's one of two.
Yeah. I know about boys though. You got a boy. You both got boys. Are they a bit feral?
No.
Mine's more feral than my girl.
Yeah.
I reckon eldest being the boy's different. First child.
Two young feral
bit
boys.
quieter.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. You'll tell us all about it. Running news, thanks to Axel Coffee Roasters for bringing us this week's race results. Check them out at axelcoffee.com.au. What do you got, Croaks?
Yeah, pretty quiet week. Really just the Para World Champs, which wrapped up last night. So we had Jarryd Clifford in the T13 1500 and also the 5,000 metres. He finished third in the 1500, running 358.87. The race was won in 357.71. And he was fifth in the 5K, running 15.26, with the race being won in 15.08. Other medalists, Annabelle Colman, third in the women's T20 1500, running 4:35, and the race was won in a world record of 4:19 for that classification. Angus Hinksman, he also claimed bronze in the T38 1500 metres, running 3:58. Race was won in 3:57. Reece Langdon, who's the world record holder in that classification, was fourth in 3:59, and Ben Eppelston was 12th And Daniel Maloney was 7th in the T20 800 in 2:01, and the race was won in 1:53. So that's pretty much the running news. We're sort of in that. We've had 2 weeks of really quiet, but now it's going to ramp up with Melbourne Marathon, Chicago Marathon this weekend, and it'll be sort of business as usual.
Yeah, we got the AV Shield starts too. And then
AV Shield.
Moose.
Nothing happened in AV Shield.
Yeah, AV Shield is going to produce some big. We always go through that, don't we?
Well, no, you go through E grade of Vic Milers or G grade, don't you?
Oh, the
That's
I don't think it's called
highlight
Shield
of your
anymore.
summer.
Isn't it called AVSL?
Yeah, it's Shield League.
Oh, is that what that means?
I don't know. But the milers will be back up again. That is some good viewing.
Big 5K champs.
Sort
New
out
South
a few
Wales
Thursday
3K
nights.
champs.
Yep.
Yeah, New South Wales 3K is like the first weekend in November, and they got Burnie 10K.
Yeah, there's heaps of stuff going on. Well, let's thank Axel Coffee for this week's running news, Croaks. Check them out at axelcoffee.com.au. And for my Whispers segment, I went digging for some other news items that if I was doing a long run, they may have made the agenda. Did you hear about this like Strava suing Garmin story?
I didn't.
You didn't? Yeah, you didn't any reading on it?
No.
It's quite interesting. So I watched the DC Rain Man. You ever watched his YouTube channel? How he does
I
that?
have, yeah.
Very, very good.
It says it's DC Rainmaker, isn't it?
Oh, Rainmaker. Sorry, Rainmaker. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. He could be the Rain Man as well. Not sure where that name comes from, Rainmaker. But he's very, very good. So I'm trying to summarize what I watched in his 15-minute video like 2 hours ago. But Strava are suing Garmin for 2 reasons. One being they think they copied their heat maps. And the other one is, you know how Garmin has segments as well? So like, and these are all backdated to so Strava had segments in 2009, whereas Garmin was like 2014. But everyone's kind of always ignored the Garmin.
Yeah.
I've never looked into a Garmin segment in my life.
That's what he was saying. It's like, this has been out forever. Everyone kind of doesn't use them. So like, why now is Strava like suing them for this stuff? And then Garmin's also not happy at Strava because Strava's using the Garmin data to give to third-party like AI training models to give you the stuff. You know, you can go on Strava now and it gives you your fitness and your training readiness and all that kind of other stuff. And they're not actually acknowledging that the data is coming from Garmin. So they're like, there's a bit of this beef going on at this stage.
That's more relevant. I think that's more of an issue than the segment thing.
Yeah, like they just want, Garmin just want to be acknowledged that somewhere it's written that this data has been generated from the Garmin kind of data in the first place. And then he was saying in there, like legally, like Garmin like hardly ever lose a case. So it's been 15 years since they've lost a legal case. And he was kind of coming up with the understanding that Strava's poking the bear, as in Garmin, to try to create a bit of like media because they want to IPO shortly. But he was kind of saying anyone that knows anything about business, poking a bear like Garmin, where you're getting the majority of your data from, is not a really good business idea. So it's really, for someone who doesn't know a lot about these worlds, and Garmin's obviously bigger than just running. Like they're doing GPS stuff for everything, aren't they?
Cars, sat navs, that sort of stuff.
Blokes I was fishing with the other day. Yeah. Yeah.
Could you imagine though if Garmin suddenly said, our data will not be able to be linked with Strava? Like our Garmin Connect says no to Strava because of all these, because of you taking us to court or whatever it is. And then the Garmin users have to manually upload every single time that they want to get their data on Strava. Strava would end pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think so. I think Strava, people just look at it, or maybe this is my opinion, I look at it as like the social media to share my GPS stuff. But if it was to disappear, because you can follow people on Garmin Connect and stuff, can't you? Do you think the crowds would just move over to there? I don't know.
Because I've never really connected with anyone on, because I was using Garmin Connect and well before I was using Strava. So if I want to get more information about my training that goes past probably 2014, 15, I would have to go into my Garmin Connect account because I didn't transfer everything across. I I think the connecting on Strava is way better than Garmin.
Yeah, the personal connection, yeah.
But do you think people would, if Garmin stopped allowing Strava from using their data, do you think most people would switch watches, go and get a Coros?
Yeah, or someone was like saying that maybe Strava's got their own watch coming.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe they want to, create this beef with Garmin to make sure that it can't continue, and then they can offer the $200 GPS watch that syncs straight up with your Strava account. Because maybe they've hooked us all into Strava in the first place.
Garmin Connect you can't really just, when it's limited to only one company, but Garmin Connect is good. Like
there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, I got a couple of athletes who don't use Strava, and it's actually really good in there to look at their workouts, and like the workout detail is much more in depth.
Yeah. Anyway, go watch old mate DC at Rainmaker if you want more information in that one. And then this one across my desk about this drug bust that happened last week. Cornelius Kipyegon from Kenya. He got 5 years and 5 years from the 11th of September for using EPO and Cera, CERA. Do you know what that means?
No.
Don't know what that drug is, but he got 2. He ran 2:04 from Barcelona Marathon this year, where he was second. He also ran 2:12 at Sydney. He was 15th. So that result gets wiped. So you and I go up one position, Moose. He was in front of us.
What, this year? Was he really?
Yeah. So all results are taken off from the 29th of July, 2025. He is managed by Fendrika Rosa. This case was interesting, though, because he actually gave some details, which we very rarely hear. So he explained that he got the EPO, which he didn't know was illegal, and he had a random bus conductor buy it for him. So after having overheard some other unnamed runners saying that EPO and Cera would reduce lactic acid in the muscles, he decided that he wanted to try these substances without knowing that they were prohibited. On the 27th of July, whilst in Kenya, the athlete approached a bus conductor and gave 5,000 Kenyan shillings to him to travel to Eldoret town and purchase the EPO and the Cera from any pharmacist, chemist. The bus driver then dropped off the EPO and Cera he purchased for the athlete at a roadside vendor where the athlete collected them. He did not know the bus conductor or the pharmacy that was visited to buy the drugs. The athlete was not given any receipt of purchase.
So he didn't really say anything, because this just sounds like,
what a story.
A totally false story where he's protecting everybody involved. And I think it is fairly dangerous over there to just to whistleblow. It's not a safe environment for someone to come out and be honest about this sort of stuff.
But then on that, Brady, I don't know if you guys saw a news article about WADA granting Kenya a reprieve from doping sanctions, citing progress. So I've got it open here. WADA said Friday that Kenya had made significant and demonstrable progress towards cleaning up its systems, delaying a threatened non-compliance order. The Montreal-based WADA said last month that the Kenyan branch was not meeting its standards and gave it until Friday to address concerns. So based on that, Kenya are improving their drug.
And 5,000 Kenyan shillings is about $58 Australian, if you were out there wondering. Other ran a bit that crossed my desk as well, that Grand Slam track, they've got some, they're hopefully going to get out of a bit of a hole here. They received some emergency financing from investors to keep the league alive. The money won't cover all the debts from Michael Johnson's track league, which plans to pay half of the $11 million it owes to athletes on Friday. Bit going on there. Bit going on.
Should have asked Stewy about Grand Slam track.
Did he do any?
No, I don't think so. Because he wasn't, because
he was probably building that stage, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting fit. What do you got for Moose on the loose, Moose?
Well, outside of some of my own little personal complaints about city life, being a country boy in the city, I'll skip them because they're probably not relevant for this. I saw there was a run club or a launch of something, perhaps. We won't go into specifics, but the event focused on the event advertised that you would go for a 15-minute run and then you'll do 30 minutes of breath work after your run. And then on top of that, you would do some other activity. Starting to feel like companies don't feel like the running side of things is actually why people buy shoes, or that running is not the most important part about running culture, or that maybe running is the least important part about running, or you don't get better at running through running. You got to do all these accessory activities. And it's so far from the realities of the sport. It's just a bit worrying to see that this is like the trend developing, is that running, we all know that running more gets us better at running. And 15-minute run is barely enough time to test out a pair of shoes to develop an opinion on them, let alone is it a 15 minutes. For the majority of people out there who are running, most people would think, okay, this is probably not enough to consider like a valuable run for me for the week. But then the same sort of group might think that half an hour worth of breath work is actually beneficial for their running. Just a scary theme developing where the actual pursuit of running is getting overtaken by other like viral based activities.
Yeah, the sport's been hijacked by these like different wellness avenues. And the example I used in our group chat would be like, okay, so this was a shoe wear test. Do golf companies go, hey, come and try out our new clubs? You hit 2 balls and then we do 30 minutes of breath work. It doesn't happen in other sports.
Yeah. But the brand is sitting there going, how do we get people to attend this event? We can hit the running crowd and we can hit the wellness crowd to hopefully get people through the door.
But this is weren't they testing out a performance shoe as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it doesn't happen in other sports, Brady, when they're trying to release something, like the product or the sport is the focus, not the additional thing, which in this case is the wellness.
Yeah.
The breath work.
Yeah.
One thing actually from the city, like running around, we ran down the Bay Trail, so a lot of people out running down along the water. It was really cool to see the amount of people running on what was probably the most disgusting conditions for a long run ever, considering the wind whipping off the ocean and the sand blowing around, is people were out there getting it done on Sunday morning. And maybe because the marathon's next week and everyone's up and about, but there was just like a whole different demographic of people than I've probably seen in the past, like all different shapes and sizes and paces, and you could sort of see like different sort of ethnicities out running, a lot more than you've sort of seen in the past. And yeah, very cool for someone who sort of runs by himself 99% of the time in the bush to come and see that the world is running. But these guys are out running. What I loved about it was they're out training. Like they're not out taking photos of themselves and there's no 5 videographers around, and they looked uncomfortable. And that was the best bit. I'm like, these people aren't out there to have like some sort of fucking superficial experience running. Like they are feeling what a Sunday run feels like in some bad conditions, and they're up for the challenge. So I've come away from that run very happy with what I saw.
That's good. Because often you're unhappy with things you see. So it's good to get a bit of happiness into your life.
Yes, I know. Like I have been unhappy before about running. Don't start me, Brady. Like I've had a big week, mate. I've had a big week.
It's Monday at 1 p.m. Hope you haven't had too big of a week yet.
Chatting to Stewy's got to make him happy. That's why he's happy.
Put a smile on his
I was
face.
up and about that. Like this bloke hasn't run in Australia for a long time, and he's going to be out on the streets, and the general public are going to be looking at him up close. They might even be able to touch him after the race. That's Stewy McSweyn we're talking about.
Yeah. One of the good guys in the sport. Croaks, listen to the question.
All right, this episode's listener question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration, and we are doing the one in the red, aren't we, Brady?
Yeah, let's do that one. I think the listeners will get a bit out of that.
All right, leading into Melbourne this weekend, what are common mistakes people make in race week?
Or any race. Because we had this happen at my house yesterday that my wife decided to withdraw a couple of bushes from our garden. So she's on the, what's that thing called? Not an axe, but it like digs out.
Matic?
Matic, yeah, that's the thing. She's on the Matic removing these. I was like, just do that the week after the race. Like, you do not need to be doing that 7 days out from a half.
Why don't you do it?
Because I've got stress reactions in both my hips, mate. I clipped it back. I had the chainsaw on it. I got
Could
it down.
You imagine Brady at home these last few weeks?
Oh, you should
sorry,
see my house.
Sorry, Carlos. I can't do anything.
No. There's no. I can't do those kind of jobs.
Kids to bed.
Yeah.
I've been putting kids to bed. I've seen more of my kids in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 6 years of some of their lives. But there's not a weed out of place here, Croaks. There's not everything's mowed, everything's looking good, but I can't do those kind of jobs because I do actually want to not stress my bones. But I was saying to her, I'm just give it an extra week. She's like, no, I'm determined to get it out now. And I'm just like, dumb in race week. I've done it before, cutting wood. Just like, what else do you see that little mistakes people make that you're just like, risk versus reward?
Well, the carb load they use as just a food load, and they'll go out the night before and they'll be like, oh, let's do burgers. We'll do like thick shakes, this kind of stuff. It's like a calorie is all that matters rather than a carb.
Yeah.
And so they just load themselves up with all sorts of junk in their guts and they just feel horrible the next morning.
Give me your 3 favourite things for a carb load. What should go to?
Lollies.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yep. Soft drink.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say like fried rice.
Yeah. I'm going to add rice cakes, but I'll give you soft drink and lollies for my top 2 as well. Croaks, what else you got?
LCM bars.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or any kind of muesli bars, very high.
Rice pudding.
Because those LCM bars, you could eat a box of those things and they don't fill you up. But if you have a look how many carbs are in them,
that's what I feel like a bag of lollies. That is just pure sugar, and you like hardly touch the sides, and you've got like 70 grams of sugar.
The advice I give to people for carb loading is lunches and dinners, eat as much of the rice and pasta as you can with minimal amount of sauce on it because you want to maximize the amount of carbs, but have as much of that as you can without making yourself feel sick. And in between those meals, that's when you're doing your lollies, your soft drink, your LCM bars, the stuff that's easy to get down without making you feel full and bloated.
Yep.
I feel like you're in a pretty good spot if you can do that.
Race week, being organised, that's another thing. Like, don't get to Thursday and be like, oh, I don't have any gels left. I need to get on the phone to Moose and organise express delivery in one day. Like, that should have been last week. Yep. If you're listening to this on a Monday, I'd be checking all that stuff now. You don't want that to be a Thursday, Friday thing.
Stressing about things you can't control. Like, how many times was Chriso looking at the weather in the lead up to Berlin?
And everyone does it, Croak. So I do the same thing when I do a marathon, but
it doesn't help you though. It doesn't help you other than making sure that you adjust for the conditions. Be aware of the conditions so you can adjust for them, but there's no point stressing about it all week.
Come to terms with it.
Yeah. And maybe have a couple of race plans already in your head about like whether X equals response Y. Whether X, response Y.
And we've mentioned this one before. Obviously, when these big events are on, there's a lot of excitement around, like you're meeting up with people that you may not see very often because they're all traveling for this event. There's expos. You can use a lot of energy in those couple of days just walking around the city, meeting people. So keep that to a minimum if you want to run well.
Yeah, that's
good.
Also, you're staying in a hotel room. Make sure that you can get it cool enough at night. Like if it's not cooling down at 8 p.m. and the thermostat's not working, go and see a reception. Get something changed. Don't just like accept that it's going to be a warm evening in there. Like, you can control that. You can change it. So make sure you do.
Plan to the start line too. Like, with road closures, have you figured out how you're going to get there? What time do you have to leave? Have all that stuff written down so you don't have to be like winging it, thinking about it on race morning. Yeah. You can spend a lot of mental bickies between now and Sunday morning if you're doing Melbourne.
Yeah, and give yourself a bit more of a fudge factor in terms of like if you're calculating how long it's going to take, give yourself an extra 20 minutes. Like, don't cut it fine.
Good one, fellas. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration, visit precisionhydration.com and use the code IR-Spring2025 for 15% off your first order. What's coming up? Melbourne Marathon Festival, 10K and half marathons there as well. Do you reckon it gets to a stage where they ditch these other races? Say this every year, don't we?
I don't know. I don't think they do.
Still pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like, the marathon's not for everyone. And so having the 10K, you're getting people like Bronte Oates rocking up for this 10K. Like, she's not going to run. She's not quite at her stage in her career yet for the half and the marathon. So you're getting those people on the roads.
We'll go 10K first then, Croaks. 10K women's, we do have, this is loaded. So Lauren Ryan, fresh off the world champs. Bronte Oates. Ali Pashley returns to Racer Moves. How good's that? Kate Spencer for New South Wales. George Hansen, Stella Radford. That's going to be, I think, where the winners are going to come from. Bronte's going to be hard to beat, but then, Lauren's going to be hard to beat.
Ryan is hard to beat.
I looked at Bronte's name and I thought about Australian cross-country champs and City to Surf. And then I was like, she's dominated. And then I remembered that's just in Australia. And Lauren Ryan's at the world stage in 10K finals coming top 10.
Mm. Yeah.
Good to see Lauren on the road.
Lauren, is she back training in Australia?
No one knows. Let's tee up to have her on the show next week.
Okay.
We'll call her in. Good. Is Ali ready, Moose? Or is this just see how you're going?
See how you're going.
Okay.
No, not ready. But, she's ready.
Say that. Yeah.
She's not Ali Pashley 2019 ready to come 13th in the world for a 10K. That's not where she is. I think everyone knows that. She's on Strava, you can see.
Is she Ali Pashley World Cross Country Trials?
Maybe. We didn't know that until we saw it. That's the best thing. There's a potential for that to happen. She's a racer. We know that. Some training, she stays controlled. She's smart. She's wise.
I think the half though, Brady, the half's probably the standout event of the weekend in terms of the fields.
Yeah. Men's 10, though, I reckon Adam Goddard from South Australia is going to win that. Here's my tip after he beat Isaac Hayne over there at City of the Bay. What are we looking at, Croaks? The half marathon fields. We've already spoken to Stewy about that in the half there. He's got Brett Robinson, Haftu Strintos. That's going to be a good race. Zach Fascioni, that'd be his debut, wouldn't it, for the half?
Yeah, probably.
It would be. The women's, though, Sinead Diver, Izzy Bat-Doyle, Jen Gregson. Jen's returned so quick. She did that run pre-race, that 10K there. And I did see how many weeks it was, but I want to say 8 weeks. That's quick. So, yeah, it's going to be great to see. So we get to see Stewy, you get to see Sinead, you get to see Lauren Ryan. Izzy's.
Doyle?
Pardon?
Izzy?
Yeah, Izzy's got to be the favourite to win that one, you'd think. And then the men's marathon, this is by far the men's and the women's marathon, I think probably the weakest one. So you got Millie Clark, who did she do Sydney? Gold Coast. I feel like she's been on a start list somewhere.
Yeah, I remember
recently.
seeing a start list. Maybe
I don't know if
I think she did Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
I'll have a look.
Sarah Klein coming off the back of world champs. Tiny turnaround. Caitlin Adams making her debut. That's something to get excited about. Kate Mason won Ballarat Marathon earlier in the year. Isabel Hugh making her debut there. Ella Higgins from New South Wales as well. And then in the men's, you've got Jack Rayner off the smallest marathon build you'll ever see. Joe Fukuda, the Japanese marathoner, who remember he appeared at Run Melbourne. It was weird that he just did the Run Melbourne. Was it the 10K? I think he did the 10K at Run Melbourne. Came second to Jake Barakoff. Bailey Maziki-Hink making his debut. He's a 64 guy, so we're looking at sub 220 first up for him. Fraser Darcy and Steve McKenna, they had both good runs at Sydney, but also backing up off short build-ups. Then you got Ben Stevens' debut on Moose. He still work at your store?
No, he's
scratching.
Yep.
He's scratching.
Millie hasn't run a marathon this year. So she did the half at Launceston, ran 73 minutes. But she did 3 marathons last year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen her name on the start list somewhere.
Maybe she was meant to run one of them but didn't start.
Could be that.
That marathon is a perfect example. There are not enough marathons to go around in Australia between Gold Coast, Sydney, overseas options, and Melbourne. Because this is 25 grand first prize, pays down to 5th. And we got people doubling up from marathons a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they need to be spread out a bit more, don't they?
Yeah, well, I think Melbourne's going to suffer a bit from people doing Sydney potentially.
Yep, I would say so. And then next year we got Geelong in the middle with some cash on the line for that too.
That's right. That is in the middle of Sydney and
Melbourne. Yep. So
it's pretty good cash too.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be attractive for someone who might not be at the 25K type mark of like level to win at Melbourne, but might be at might be out of the prize money at Melbourne, but now they go, oh, I could go down to Geelong, run a good race and win some decent cash.
And then you got like Great Ocean Road as well, like that. There's some good races with some money that.
It's good, isn't it? It is. Like, it's fantastic. And we probably can't be too critical of the fields, because if this is the result of more cash, like, we should be supportive of the better conditions for athletes within the country.
That's great.
And it's still better. Like, I would much prefer to see a slightly weaker marathon field, but the money going to Aussies, than bringing over a heap of Africans.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's a good situation to be in. Chicago's also happening. Kipyegon's running his second marathon. So he debuted at London. Was good, but it wasn't anything special. Like, he didn't win the thing. Looked kind of slow behind Sarway, but he had a pretty decent debut. You reckon he takes the world record at Chicago, boys?
You've got him penciled in, haven't you? You love calling a world record.
What did he run for that 56-minute half marathon? Put that in the calculator, Croaks.
Well, that's the thing. If he's in that sort of shape and they get a good weather day, and because he's now got one run under his belt, like, there's a possibility. But I've got no idea what sort of shape he's in. I try and find out when he raced last.
It's a long forecast for that as well. It's looking a bit warm, 15 degrees at 7 a.m. over there. So no wind though, but yeah, a bit maybe on the warmer side. Won't impact him. Conor Mann's American record. Put that in your book as well, fellas. See 2 of those things go down.
I don't know about that.
24th of August, he ran 58:29 in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
You know how I still owe you a slab, Moose? Do you want to put it on that? You've got one in credit. I paid one back. Conor Mann's.
American record?
Yeah.
You just said the conditions aren't looking great?
Conditions at this stage. Maybe we can confirm it later in the week, but at this stage do you know what time it starts? I should know that.
No, I'll just take it. I'll take it.
So I'm going to owe you 2, or I'm going to clean my slate.
Well,
come on, Connor. 17 degrees, 9 a.m., 11k an hour winds.
Easy, done. I'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah, we'll confirm that on Thursday.
No. We did that already. You offered it, I took it.
Chicago can do stupid things with the weather. Yep. All right, we're done. What's coming up in your life, Croaks?
Another week of school holidays for our kids. Bit of running, bit of riding. Just loving the daylight saving. Extra daylight. It's great.
Okay. What do you do with your extra daylight?
Well, it's more like
this, doesn't he, Moose?
Yeah, because you can just go out and do things later on. You know, like,
what are you doing?
We'll go for a run. It's like, I don't need to necessarily have my run done before a particular time. I can go at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night if I want.
How many times has he gone at 7 over the 10 years we've recorded this podcast?
I might do it this week, Moose. I might do it just for you.
It was still light at 6 p.m. 7 anyway, like last week.
That's peak like kid time, 6 to 7.
Okay.
You have never run after you put your kids down that I can remember.
Don't you guys agree though that daylight saving is nice?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it's nice, but it was also nice like the last 3 or 4 weeks when it's been still a bit light later on. Anyway, I hate it because you got to try to put the kids to bed and it's still fully light.
Well, another thing I like is for our group sessions, because we don't warm up till 5:30 on a Tuesday and the session starts at 6. There's more options for training locations for the group sessions. So that's another advantage I like of daylight saving.
I'll give you that one. Moose, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, very little. Test driving a car that actually fits 3 car seats along the middle row because we're short one of them. So it could be double vans in our house. That's about it, though.
We're going to have a bus, family bus.
2 buses at the house, yep.
Any trips planned to Canberra, Moose, in the near future?
Yeah, yes, soon. Soon. Haven't really gone live with that announcement, Croaks, but thanks for leading.
I just asked you whether you're coming to Canberra.
No, I am soon.
To visit me. I didn't announce anything.
I'm coming
Go for
soon.
a run at 7 p.m. You two, at Mulligans.
We'll run from Capital City Brewing because that place, I'll really enjoy that place. And we can run around the lake for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Although you don't leave Mulligans, so probably no chance for that. I'm going to have to go to him, Brady.
No, I'll come for a run. I'll come for a run.
Get Leanne out there as well. Aaron, get the whole gang together.
Yeah. Who else we got up there?
That'd be right. We have a few listeners. Croaks is what's your group called? Croaks? Diagony of Defeat. You still called that?
Mulligans
Mulligans
Track Club.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
those two groups together.
They're like Team Tempo and Runners One in Adelaide. Those 2 groups.
Oh, don't
bring that up, Brady.
Sorry, I always get confused about the names of different groups.
Bit of tension at the track when they work out together.
End of the show before we get in trouble again. See you, boys.
See ya.
Ballarat's world-class road running festival returns bigger and better across the weekend of the 25th and the 26th of April next year. Choose from the full marathon, half marathon, 10K, 5K or mile races. Registrations are coming in from all over Australia, so don't delay. Sign up today at ballaratmarathon.com.au.
Under